Welcome to Internext Global On Demand. Please enjoy the session at your own pace.
Okay, Dr. Song, it's great to have you here to kick off the Internext Global Event 2023. We are super excited about the partnership between Samsung SDS and O9, and we are all grateful about it. So let's start with a little bit about introduction. And the question is, what is Samsung SDS? And tell us a little bit about the company as well as your role at Samsung SDS.
Okay, sure. As you can guess from the name of the company, so Samsung SDS is a member of the Samsung conglomerate, and we are doing the IT services business. And our rank in the IT service market globally is basically 21st. And we are the third in the APAC market. And we are the number one in service in Korea and number one in manufacturing sector. Our company's revenue in 2022 is about $13 billion. So it's a pretty big IT service company in Korea. Within Samsung SDS, I'm in charge of the solution business division, which is covering all the solution related businesses, including middleware and the supply chain management software, ERP, MES, etc.
Awesome. It's very impressive. So then let's get into more details and let's talk about digital transformation because a lot of companies are talking about it. But in your view, based on your extended experiences in various IT companies, what is digital transformation means to you and also for the enterprises? And why has the digital transformation become critical to the companies these days?
Yeah, the digital transformation has many different definitions and meanings, right, by the people who are using it in their life. But when it comes to SCM world, I think we can think about what we have tried in the past in the name of digital transformations. So interestingly, the SCM is one of the early adopter where the digital transformation concept was tried more than 20 years ago. So let me give you an example. So in early 2000, basically the company called IT Technologies, right? They introduced the concept of the concurrent and the constraint planning concept for global supply chain optimizations. So even 20 years ago, they tried to model physical supply chain like the warehouse, distribution center, and manufacturing facilities, and machines and labor cost and transportation mode, etc. in the in-memory engine. And they tried to model the planning parameters and constraint in the in-memory model. And they tried to generate the optimized plans, right, through the simulations or by applying some optimization techniques, which is exactly what we are trying to do in broader areas, right, in the name of the digital twin. Meaning, basically, we are trying to model physical things in the cyberspace, and we are trying to do lots of simulations and optimization if required, right? Even before trying out those kind of plans in reality. So in that context, I think that we have been trying this digital transformation for the last 2 decades. But what the difference is that now we have more tools to make it happen in broader areas and in better way. That's the kind of the concept that I think in the name of the digital transformation. So in that context, the digital transformation is for change the way of working, okay, with much better capabilities in terms of data gathering, data processing, and data analysis and data publishings. So that's the thing that I think for the digital transformations, and it is for improving better decision making at better speed, with better accuracy, and with much better execution hit rate. So we can do much better compared to the past in the era of the digital transformations. I think the basic guiding principles or the problems that we are trying to solve hasn't changed a lot, changed much. Basically, we are trying to solve the same problem with better technologies, with better capabilities.
Okay, thanks for the answer. These days, the industry leaders, they're all recognizing the importance of the digital transformation. Then what are the areas they should focus on? And what are the business challenges to solve with digital transformation, especially with digital supply chain management, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so we can apply digital transformation to many areas like the business intelligence and demand sensing and even the transaction handling, etc. But since we are talking about the supply chain management, so let's just narrow the scope to the supply chain management. I think that we can find the answers from the past experience. If you recall, 20 years ago's global supply chain innovation initiatives, we have all the answers. For example, we talk about the inter-enterprise optimizations, right? Let me take one example. We talk about the inter-enterprise optimization 20 years ago. Even though we tried to make it happen so many times, many companies were barely able to realize intra-enterprise optimizations. It's still open questions for us. But now we have the much better collaboration and communication tools, and we have much better computing power, and we have a much better way of exchanging the information between enterprises. And all those data are available, and now we have all the tools necessary to realize inter-enterprise optimization, as long as the enterprises connected in the supply chain are willing to collaborate with open-minded. I think that's one area that we can try out the digital transformation. And the second thing is basically simulations and the scenario planning. For the last 20 years, many vendors and customers tried to implement the scenario-based decision-making, so-called scenario planning. But 20 years ago, we tried the same thing, but at that time, we were not able to make it happen due to the technical hurdles. We didn't have enough computing power, and we didn't have tools to immediately create the scenarios while keeping the minimal data right in the system. Now everybody is talking about the in-memory databases. With this database technologies advances, now we can instantly create a scenario, and we can run the planning against a predefined scenario or on-the-fly created scenarios at the much better speed, right? So all of these are possible right now. So these are the kind of example that we can try out in the name of digital transformations. So basically, our mission or SCM's mission didn't change much from the past. Now we just need to solve these problems in much better way with technological advances we have observed recently, like the AI, ML, cloud, SaaS, mobile, etc. Okay, so my answer is pretty simple. We just need to solve, basic fundamental problems that we have been trying to solve for the last 20 years. Problems are still there. We just need to apply new tools and technologies to solve these problems. Technologies sometimes, lead to the innovations. Okay, we know what to solve. We just need to choose the right tools and process to solve their problems.
Thank you. That's a good insight. Then you kind of mentioned a little in your answers, but however, if we focus more on some prerequisite for successful digital transformation from supply chain management perspective, what are they? Can you kind of share your thoughts about what should be resolved before we actually go on the journey of digital transformation of supply chain?
Yeah, I think that there are lots of sufficient and necessary conditions to succeed in the digital transformations. So we cannot cover all of these today. But I think that from the practical implication perspective, again, it's all about data. We need to find a way to gather the data and to process the data in the right way and to get the high quality data from the abundant low data. So we are not suffering from lack of data. Okay, for clarification, what I mean by data availability is not about the raw data availability. Okay, we have enough raw data, right, at hand. The problem is that from time to time, we are going astray, okay, in the lake or ocean of the data. There are too many data, but there is not much, high quality data at hand. So we need to have tools, process, and people who can create the, qualified data or high quality data from the abundant raw data. So which requires, I think, the master data management capability, especially for the planning areas, because the lots of data available from the other legacy system like the ERP or business intelligence are not well organized from the supply chain management perspective. So how to map or convert those abundant data in the context of the supply chain management is a key thing. So in the world of the supply chain management software, in the past, we have been focusing on just a solution or either platform, but we have never focused on the planning data management capabilities. So I think to make a success in the digital transformation, we should have a good capability of managing or handling planning data itself. Okay. So quality of the digital transformation is determined by the quality of data.
Thanks for your insight. So I guess the data is the key for the successful digital transformation of supply chain. I mean, that's a good insight. Then could you please share a success story of recent digital transformation project managed and delivered by Samsung SDS?
Sure. Since I joined SCM consulting world 20 years ago, I think Excel was the strongest incumbent in the planning process. We try to replace, or in other words, we are trying to get rid of the Excels, right, from the planning process, but it failed because Excel has lots of flexibilities and users can do whatever that they want, right, with Excel. So there was a kind of the planning process, which is heavily dependent on Excel. In the IDM manufacturing world, in other words, independent device manufacturing for semiconductor, the product mix decision is one of the key planning process because they have to come up with the right product mix to fully utilize their capacity while meeting the demands from the customers. That mix decision is a highly sophisticated process, and the grain of the decisions can be different by the product group. So to have that kind of flexibilities, so one of the top-notch player in the semiconductor has been using Excel system for more than 20 years. That they try to systemize this process with many solutions a couple of times for the last 20 years, like the i2 or Power BI and some other planning tools. But all of them failed because they were not able to satisfy the requirement from the end customers, which is all about the customization and the flexible dashboard or flexible UI that is highly tailored to their planning needs. So prior to online platform, there was no capability in the supply chain and planning software world to give that kind of flexibilities. The virtue of the online platform was in the fact that customers can do whatever customization that they want as long as the requirement can be met by utilizing the widgets or any kind of the configurations offered by the online platform. So with the help of online platform, we were able to systemize this Excel-based highly manual planning process onto the online platform. So after these projects, we were able to reduce planning lead time by 20%, and we were able to minimize the manual plan adjustment up to the 40%, and then we were able to reduce the resolution time for the minor report or UI adjustment or adding new report kind of the customer request by 70%, which is a phenomenal performance because system itself should be organic, meaning whenever a customer wants to change a design or depending on the business situation, they may ask for some new views or new UIs. So how to respond to those kind of dynamic requests is the kind of the key success factor, okay, for the supply chain planning software. I think we achieved that goal with the O9's digital brain platform. So that was a kind of the real life example of digital transformation in the supply chain management world delivered by the Samsung SDS and O9 together.
Okay, that's an impressive result of a successful project, and we are very impressed of that. Okay, let me ask you this question then. SDS is an important strategic partner of O9 in many layers. And could you please share the scope of this partnership and the latest status of this partnership with O9?
Yes. Samsung SDS and O9 are in pretty unique partnership model. So first of all, Samsung SDS is a cloud infra provider for O9 platform for Korea market, just like the Azure, GCP, and AWS. The difference is that Samsung cloud platform is a kind of tailored, the cloud solution for customers who needs, private cloud edition. Many customers still have lots of concerns regarding the data security, especially for the supply chain management related data, because SCM data has all the sensitive information about the business outlook for the company. This is quite common in at least East Asian countries. So with our private cloud offering, I think people or customers who are really sensitive about the data security can also fully leverage the value of the O9 platform. That's one partnership model. And secondly, SDS and O9 have the mutual reseller and consulting partnership for O9's SCM solutions, as well as the Samsung SDS SCM solutions. Our SCM solution name is Next Prime SCM. We are offering the supply chain management response, which is like a demand supply match solver, and the sequencer, which is kind of a single stage, the scheduling optimizer. And we also offers the supply chain mobile solutions. So O9 sells our software and we sells O9 software and we implement it together. So this is bi-directional, the solution partnership is pretty unique. Mm-hmm. And then the last but not the least, SDS is a formal, independent software vendor for O9. So on top of O9 platform, as I mentioned earlier, we offer a Next Prime SCM mobile, or in other words, O9 mobile solutions, okay, which is tightly coupled with O9 platform. So any O9 customers can easily adopt this mobile solution to improve data consumption experience by all the stakeholders in the organization. So that's a kind of the three unique partnership model that we have with O9. We have been successful in creating positive business outcome, at least in Korea and the Europe market. So in 2023, we expect to grow this partnership and we expect to generate more, the profitable outcomes across the globe, including the US market.
Thank you. Thanks for explaining that to our audiences. So Dr. Song, thanks for having this conversation with me today. As a last question, I understand you are a wine enthusiast and you enjoy making a good wine recommendation for right wine for various occasions. So for those industry leaders, transformation leaders who are listening to this conversation in the spring of 2023, do you have any type or label of wine you would recommend as a parting gift?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, I like wine because whenever I have a meeting with customers or colleagues and partners, I'm always trying to, share some story with wines. So since we are joining the AIM 10X Global 2023, let me give my recommendation. So I believe that supply chain management is a kind of the innovator for the, operational excellence in the enterprise, right? So I would like to recommend Innovatus. It's a Napa Valley wine, and it is made from the Korean American female. And Innovatus in Latin means innovate. So since all the participants in this event are innovators in the supply chain management world, so I recommend you guys to try out Innovatus. But you need to be hurry. They are producing, I think, the 2,000 bottles per year. So it's a constraint.
Okay.
So you need to do some optimization to get that allocation. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I mean, we'll make sure that we remember this wine label called Innovatus, and we'll try to have that next time we are in California. So thank you again for your great advice for the audiences. And I'm looking forward to meeting you more often this year for your insightful advice. And I wish you and SDS continued success. Thank you. Thank you.